98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
Welcome back. Thank you for standing by. This is still the Morning Express, and now we're about to move to the second segment of the Morning Express called Mainland Focus. Basically, we'll be focusing on maybe two or one story from the plethora of stories that we addressed earlier in the day. This is just to appropriately manage time and give everyone an opportunity to converse or maybe even opine on the stories. Many important stories have been reported, and none takes precedence over the other, but we just think there's some stories that are worthy of deeper discourse. There's some stories that we can use to open up conversations around our own operations, our own dealings here in Nigeria. We're still going to be referencing stories from the papers, from our dailies, and then we would open our phone line, we would open our social media platform for you to send your contributions. The phone line 0913-6000410. That's how you call us. So take down that number for when we open the phone line. It's 0913-6000410. If you're listening or if you're watching via the streaming platform, you know what to do. Just make use of the live chat option, type in your message, and it would be displayed. I would read all those messages, or at least I'll do the best I can to read as many messages as I can from our streaming platform. There's also WhatsApp. There's the option of WhatsApp. You can send a message via WhatsApp to 0913-6000430. So please note that number if you're one that would rather send a WhatsApp message. 0913-6000430. And for those of you who don't use an internet phone, you are the oldies gang, you can send a direct text message as well. 0913-6000430. Well, for this morning, we're going to be looking at two major stories. One regarding our education sector, and also we'll be referencing Ghana's election and all of the things that we can learn from that particular election. Speaking of our education sector here in Nigeria, we did tell you that The Guardian reported this morning funding weak political will bedeviling varsity system. And we do have the report here that the Association of Registrars of Nigeria University, ANU, have stated that inadequate funding as well as lack of political will had adversely impacted the Nigeria university system. Poor governance, unstable leadership are also factors that have been highlighted as bedeviling our varsity system, tertiary institution, tertiary education in its entirety. There's no money, and there's also no one who seems to be very particular about improving the state of that system. We're talking infrastructure, we are talking welfare for the teachers, both the teaching and non-teaching staff, the continuous strikes that we see, the inability to fulfill promises that have been made as far back as 2009, the promises and the failures that have accompanied these promises. And so we've continued to see something of a disintegration in the quality of our varsity education. And so in what ways can we rectify these errors? Is it a change of guard or a change of system? I mean, is it different people that we need to put in that system, or we need to overhaul the system in itself? How do we rectify the many ills of our education sector, particularly tertiary education? Also, we'll be talking about Ghana's election, like I said before. We've seen a return of Mahama, or at least the results that have been made available at this time indicates that Mahama might come back as the president of Ghana. Now, as much as Ghanaians have taken to the streets to celebrate the return of Mahama, reports are telling us, at least according to the BBC, that no official results have been put out there. There's still some sort of opposition that is impeding the official announcement of the outcome of this election. And in fact, the call to concede, right, that's the current vice president of Ghana, the call to concede was actually done based on the recent outcome that has been seen. Bawumia did say that, well, so far so good with the results that we've seen because of the transparency of this particular election. It's evidence that Mahama has claimed victory. But then I should also highlight that no official result has been announced announced because there's still some sort of pushback regarding the announcement of the result or the outcome of the result, although the people of Ghana have taken to the street to celebrate, and in fact the concession call has been made. But the crux of this conversation is, what can we learn from the electoral process in Ghana? The fact that even an incumbent, right, lost the election, or at least so far so good, believes that he has lost the election and has made a call affirming the victory, congratulating his opponent. What does that say? What lessons can we learn from the process of voting, the mood of the people, and most importantly, the fact that people would rather go back to a past administration, especially with the poor economic situation of Ghana, the dwindling prices, the unemployment rate, the purchasing power of the people has been eroded. This is the two stories for conversation. Fᴜᴜ will join us very briefly to comment on these two stories, and then I'll give you an opportunity as well. Fᴜᴜ, thank you so very much for your patience. Please go on ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Sage. Well, for our university, when it comes to funding poor infrastructure, it's very, very unfortunate, Sage. Again, I think on the big talk with Sandra, we've repeated the soundbite, the speech by Professor Jᴏɪᴜ Aᴊɪṕᴏ at the Goodluck Jonathan Foundation symposium this year, where he gave a wonderful speech as to how countries like Singapore, India, invested heavily in education, committed to quality education, committed to getting their best talents, nurturing their best talents, in a way that has led them to become, some of the most talked about nations of the world today. Whatever we talk about today about Singapore, India, did not come by chance. It came as a result of the commitment of the leadership of the countries, to quality education, providing quality education for their people. Because in itself, the best way, to get from being an underdeveloped nation to develop a developed nation is how well you are able to fund education, from primary to secondary and then tertiary education. Let us ask ourselves this critical question. The way we are handling university education in Nigeria, does it show any commitment to meaningful development? Look, as I speak to you, the Lagos State University, for example, is on site. And what are they fighting over? Poor remuneration for lecturers. But apart from poor remuneration, go into most of our universities, every public university, go and look at the classrooms, look at the infrastructure. It has even gotten so worse that in this era of Band A stage, most universities cannot provide electricity for their students. And will continue to deceive ourselves. They say there's a youth conference coming up later in January, Abby.
Yeah, conference.
A youth conference is coming up. A complete waste of time, waste of resources. They will get there and talk without doing anything. Sage, are you with me? So, hello?
Fᴜᴜ, I'm with you. Go ahead, please.
So what would the youth conference bring? When you have where you are supposed to breed and develop youth into leaders of tomorrow, lack funding, lack infrastructure, nothing. Look, if you look at it, and that's why you keep saying we are producing outdated graduates, unemployable graduates. What are the lecturers going to do? I also think that, look, apart from poor funding and lack of political will, there's also systemic corruption within our university. The managers of those institutions have a lot of questions too about how they manage the available resources that is available to them. All these VCs and all of these people managing these universities, we need to question, because whether you like it or not, there are indications of systemic corruption in our universities too. So it has to be a holistic approach, really. We can't, in a way of lack of commitment, abandon our universities this way and expect that there's going to be any meaningful development in the country. It's not going to happen. So, it's about leadership, it's about a commitment to doing the right thing when it comes to education. Like I said, go check the story of India, Singapore, the Asian tigers. Look at how they approach the issue of education, and you understand why there are nations in this current global setting that everybody is talking about. And when it comes to Ghana's election, congratulations to them, whether we like it or not. We can be the giant of Africa because of our population, economy, and what have you. The reality is that when it comes to democratic practices and the way we see democracy and the way we conduct our elections, there's a lot that we need to learn. from some of these small countries of West Africa. If I look at Benin Republic, say, do you also know that one of the most successful democracies in West Africa is Benin Republic? You know, I used to hear of Zoglo, Kerekou, and the new president now. The way they conduct their elections, no problem. From one government to another government, you don't hear of bickering or fighting or people killing themselves or even people going to court after election. The things we see with our own elections. You understand what I'm saying? Even this Ghanaian election, yes, there were a bit of skirmishes here and there, one or two pockets of violent reports here and there, but it's not as widespread. You can see that even the man, despite the fact that he didn't say that there's really no official result yet, but the man that contested the election with John Dramani Mahama, the current vice president, has already congratulated him. Because he feels that the elections have been substantially conducted in a fair and fair manner. And you know when it comes to elections, say, there's no perfect election anywhere in the world. Even in the US, the last election, there were still reported cases of, manipulations here and there. But, you know, the way we talk about elections, when you talk about it being free and fair, is that, look, it must have been seen that substantially the electoral process has been done in a way that it conforms largely with the rules of the elections. We're not saying it has to be 100% perfect, but at least you must have seen that, look, the entire conduct of the election is in conformity with the rules of the election. In this election, we didn't see people holding tape, stopping people from voting. We didn't see people starting ballot boxing. None of those things. And it was not an election that was heavily militarized. See, where you had police, soldiers everywhere. No. It's just, those are the reasons why people respect nations. So, see, if you say they don't respect your country, those little things matter when it comes to global setting. The way they see your people, the way they respect your nation, is in how you handle little things, like how you conduct your election. So again, congratulations to Ghana, and a lot that Nigeria has to learn, can still learn from how Ghana has conducted this election. God bless Nigeria. See.
Thank you very much, Fuad. We appreciate you for your insight as always. Well, it's time for you to also become an analyst, at least for 2 minutes that you'd be engaging with me on the radio. Remember, if you're calling, you have just 2 minutes. We'll prompt you before your 2 minutes elapses so you can start to round off your thoughts. And so I would like to implore you that once we start to prompt you, once I start to tell you, thank you, I would really appreciate if you can begin to put your thoughts together. That's not the time for you to start pushing for new analysis on a different story entirely now. And I'm speaking to those who like to analyze both stories. So manage your time. At least spend 1 minute on each story if you want to talk about the two. And if you want to talk about one, you can use your 2 minutes, exhaust your 2 minutes on that story. And please, when I prompt you, start to round off your thoughts. For those of you sending WhatsApp message or text messages, I'm imploring you brevity, so that we're able to very easily read through your message. Bulky messages can be very tedious, especially if it's not properly put together. So brevity is very I implore you to be very brief in your messages and get straight to the point. Also, let us not speak to personalities. If somebody calls and says something that you don't agree with, you do have a right to call and talk about why you don't agree with that perspective. You can give us your own contrary opinion, but do not speak to the personality of the initial speaker. You do not insult the initial speaker. You just speak to their analysis and how you disagree, why you disagree, and what you think is the appropriate analysis on the matter, just so we're able to have a decent conversation and we're all able to learn from each other. Again, the methods through which you can communicate with us this morning as we begin to take contributions is via the phone line. That's 0913 6000410 if you want to call. Now, if you want to send a WhatsApp message or a text message, the number is 0913 6000430. For those of you that are on the streaming platform, you very well know that you can drop your submissions using the live chat option. Just drop your message and we would read them. You can listen via Radio Garden, you can listen via our website, and you can listen, of course, directly through your radio. Across all our platforms is Mainland 98.3 FM is how you can find us. My name is Sage Babalola. So when you call, do well to tell me your name, tell me where you're calling from, and then speak to the stories for analysis this morning. Don't forget, we're talking about the education sector and how poor funding and a lack of political will continues to minimize all of the many benefits that we should be enjoying from our education sector. Why our tertiary institution, more specifically, are suffering a great deal in terms of welfare for the workers, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of the quality of students that we're getting. And we're also referencing Ghana's election and all the many things we can learn from the operations of the entire electoral process and all of those who were involved in the electoral process, as well as the body language of even the individual that supposedly lost the election, as we await the official announcement of the winner. Let's open the phone lines and take our first contribution. Hello. Hello. Okay, may I do call back if that was you? Hello.
Hello, Pamela. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Thank you very much. Peter Monson from Shogundu.
Welcome.
Yeah, thank God for the life of what. Reminding us that at least in Ghana, there were no kind of sticks stopping people from voting. And I want to ask, did they have any technological glitches or electronic glitches in that election? I don't think that happened. Did they invite international communities to come and observe that election? If they did that, what is the report of the international community? How did they describe the election? Did they describe that election as lacking in integrity, lacking in transparency? I mean, a failure, like they described Nigeria election? I don't think that happened. You see, the point remains that the day you know that you are not doing well, that's the day you start doing well. See, the problem with Nigeria is that somebody went and tell the whole world, come and observe our election. You went to Chatham House and tell the whole world the day you want to conduct the election. Real-time results. And at the end of the day, you came out to tell us that you experienced glitches. You did not inform other stakeholders. And finally, should we suspend it and do it another day? Then unilaterally, you went ahead with your own painting of goalposts in the midst of the match. And then you say Nigerians should accept it. Look at what Ghana has done. The man that contested, saying that at least the election followed the laid-down norms, the laid-down principles of the election. Even though the final result is not written now, he accepted it and congratulate the winner. That's what we used to talk about. Because Nigeria, Ghana here is in West Africa. Małgorzata mentioned Cotonou, different countries around Africa that had good and near perfect, not perfect, near perfect election. But in Nigeria will be telling you America has been struggling for 200 years. I always ask one question. If America had the electronic development we have today, they would have developed within 10 years. So Nigeria, what do you learn from Ghana?
Peter.
Ghana is ahead of us, so
Thank you.
have a beautiful day.
You have a better day. Hello.
Yeah, Lady Sage, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
Yeah, this is Tဃᴇ Joshua.
Welcome.
See, I feel so disturbed. I feel so worried about this Ghana election report and all that, comparing our country to this tiny country along our coast. See, is it, let's ask ourselves a question. Is it about the election generally, or we have bad losers and bad followers in Nigeria? Up to now, up to today, Donald Trump still claims he won one particular election. And that claim, only that claim, it will continue painting American elections in a bad light. You know you cannot win. There is no way you can win an election. You will still claim you won the election. You will still be claiming that you won the election. And going to radio and all social media and platforms saying you won it. And there is no way you will win the election. Politicians know. They know where they will win election and they know when they will not win an election. We have bad followers with bad orientation. We should talk to ourselves. We have bad followers who still believe and who will keep believing that their vote doesn't count. They believe that their vote do not count at all. And they still have that bad orientation. We should talk to ourselves. It's not all about maybe compare. I will not agree with anybody. I will learn anything from Ghana. Learn anything from Ghana. We have bad followers, bad leaders who are bad losers. We should not. I don't like all this comparison between Nigeria and Ghana. Who is Ghana? I beg.
Right.
We should talk to ourselves.
Thank you. Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you. 091360000410. You can send your message to the live stream, Mainland 98.3 FM, and I would read your messages. Let's take another phone call. Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes. This is Mr. Duke from Idem.
Welcome.
Good morning. I want to talk about the Ghana election.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, you will see the way they conducted the election. There was no glitch. And everything went well. You know, some persons will say that in Nigeria, people don't congratulate the victor. It's very hard. When you feel cheated, there is no way you are going to congratulate your opponent. When you find out that the election is fair and fair, you can go ahead and congratulate your opponent. That is what I see here. We should work on our electoral reform. Without electoral reform in Nigeria, we are not going anywhere. Thank you. This is what I have to say.
All right, then. Thank you. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Sage.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Ghana did the election. There were no glitches or fishes. And somebody is telling me that who is Ghana. Ghana is better than Nigeria as far as I'm concerned when it comes to electoral processes. We did not hear them putting curfew that nobody should move, no movement because you want to vote. And we didn't see them bringing out results. When they see that the other party is not winning, they will stop it. They will go for like few hours, come back, then the person that is leading will now become the winner. We didn't hear anything like that. They did not say because the sitting vice president wants to contest as a president. And they allowed the president, they gave him leverage. They manipulated for him to win. Rather, they allowed the Ghanaians to vote according to whom they want. And the man that was there before, they said they want him back to come and rule them. And before you know it, the sitting vice president came out and said, I concede to defeat. No need. And somebody is telling me who is Ghana. Ghana is a country they have guns in their head. They don't cheat. They don't manipulate. And that they don't manipulate to buy a bottle to change figures on their district. And you're telling me who is Ghana. Ghana is better than Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for calling. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, my sister. I greet everybody, those who are hearing me. God bless you. Happy New Month.
Happy New Month. Your name, please.
Okay, from Abulado.
All right, then. Go ahead, please.
That is I am so much surprised with Ghana. Mahmoud Yakubu, congratulations. You have done a very good job. 110,000 naira, a bag of rice.
Hold on.
Imagine.
Hold on. Mahmoud Yakubu is not in charge of election in Ghana. I don't. What are you talking about?
He's the one that put us in this condition now, and the judiciary.
Okay, context
and the
is
judiciary.
very important.
You see, imagine Ghana that can do things in order. Because of over corruption in Nigeria, they have spoiled everything. Where other countries, even small countries, supposed to learn from us. But look at, I'm very, very ashamed. God bless you, my sisters.
All right, then. Thank you so much. Thank you. I was almost confused there.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
My name is Dr. Peters. I'm calling from Lɪਧᴇ.
All right, welcome.
Yes, I've been enjoying the program. Somebody asked who is Ghana. Let me educate us this morning. When you talk of democracy, Ghana is far ahead of Nigeria, more organized than Nigeria. If you ask me, how did I know this? When Obama was the president, he was the president of America.
He chose to go to some African countries. He chose Ghana over Nigeria. Why? Because of their democratic system. They are more organized. They are more democratic. They are more liberal in terms of anything democracy in Nigeria. So congratulations to them. Those who are coming here to compare with emotions and everything, it's better you pipe low and get yourself educated until you start organizing yourself. That is when people will start respecting you. We claim to be giant of Africa, just about our population, nothing more than that. When you talk about people who their system works, who knows what to do, who are doing things for better the life of Nigeria, Nigeria is not in that category. So you asking us who is Ghana? Please, Ghana is very ahead of Nigeria when you talk about anything governance. Okay, their police is more organized, their infrastructure is more organized. If you don't know it today, even the electric system, you can see it. So stop talking with emotions. Okay, yes, we all love Nigeria, but as at this moment, we are not getting it right. Until we start loving ourselves, until we start doing things right, that is when people will start respecting us. So please stop talking with emotions and start beat up yourself and ask us who is Ghana. Ghana is something, and you can see it. American president respect them because of how organized they are. Okay, the Western world are respecting them. Their passport is more valuable than ours.
Thank you.
So please, it's better you don't run up on yourself in the name of asking us who is Ghana.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you. I think the point has been made. Let's read messages on WhatsApp. We have Happy New Week to all of you in the studio. Just imagine that Ghana is learning from Nigeria by Mahmoud Yakub. I don't know what Ghana will learn from a corrupt country. Okay, I think maybe I need to put things into proper perspective and maybe read that particular story for you. And let's not be taken aback by, misled by the presentation of the headline. Now, the election, the part of the election that Mahmoud Yakub is referring to, right, is the results, the announcement of the results, the fact that they allowed constituency level officers to announce parliamentary result locally. So only the presidential results were sent to Accra. That's what they're saying. But then all the other parliamentary results were handled by constituency level officers, the way we have Rex here. They were handled by constituency officers there. That's the only thing they are saying, which is somewhat similar. They use that. They more or less decentralized the election, and we also decentralize our election here in Nigeria. So that is the part that he was referencing, not the security part or transparency or the system glitch. That's not the part. The part that Mahmoud Yakub was referencing was the fact that Ghana decentralized their election the same way that we do here in Nigeria. Ghana is not necessarily a federal system, but it did use returning officer to announce the results for parliamentary election in the different constituencies around the country. That is the similarity that Mahmoud Yakub was referencing, not the entirety of the election. All right, I just need to situate things properly so that we don't get the wrong narrative and run with it. That's why it's important to not just read headlines, but also read the body of the stories as well. So I'll still read the message, but I just thought to, for those of you who have the same opinion, give you the right information. We have Happy New Week to all of you in the studio. Just imagine that Ghana is learning from Nigeria by Mahmoud Yakub. I don't know what Ghana would learn from a corrupt country like Nigeria. I went to Alaba International Market on Friday to buy goods, and after buying, I tried for more than 2 hours to make transfer, but there was no network. I had to approach the bank in the market to withdraw cash, but I was told there was no cash. Can I obtain an ATM card? I was told that there is no network. I had to come out with the goods I bought. Is that what Ghana will learn from Nigeria? Mayor from Ikotumegbe. All right, thank you very much. We have another one here. I am Bolaji from Ijoko. It's unfortunate that despite the huge human and natural resources we have in this country, we are still backward in all front of development. Ghana just held a very free, fair, and credible and acceptable election, but a professor who conducted the election in Nigeria was saying Ghana copied him. I want to remind Prof that Ghana was not locked down. Ballots were not stolen. Thugs did not intimidate, there was no vote buying, and countless disregard of electoral laws. Now to you, the press, when are we going to have conversations on 44 other mineral resources being taken away from our country on a daily basis by foreigners with the collaboration of our leaders? Taxpayers are asking. If you listen to the station, frequently, you'd realize that on Situation Room at least twice, I believe myself or 괏ᴜᴜ on another day to have spoken about harnessing our other resources, tourism, our mineral resources, amongst other things. He even spoke about maybe some of these regions that have these resources can also harness it for internally generated revenue. We've spoken about this countless times, but there's nothing wrong with talking about it again. You can listen to the Situation Room, for example, 4 p.m. Mondays through to Fridays. You can also listen to the Big Talk, and if you really want a platform to discuss these conversations extensively. But we have another message here. Good morning, Sage and Fuad. No matter what the CBN and the Ministry of Finance says about the Naira gains over the dollar, it must be reflected in the prices of food, and they must know that. CY from Shibiri. All right, thank you very much. We have another one here. Good morning, Sage. Congratulations to the citizens of Ghana for their peaceful election. Hope Nigerians will learn to avoid violence, ballot box snatching, electrical glitches, and ethnicity sentiment. Noah from Igondo. All right, thank you very much. We have another one here. Good morning to all in the studio. I wanted for us to know that the Naira is appreciating because Nigeria is currently borrowing foreign currency through the issuance of Eurobond, and also diaspora remittance increase in volume by December yearly. This is the reason our currency is gaining artificial weight. Funshaw is the author of that message. We have another one here. Good morning, Babalola and Fuad. I monitor the Ghana presidential election closely. I was amazed at how democratic and mature they were. Nigeria should learn from them, and President Tinubu should learn from Ghana how it ought to be. Just governorship election in Edo and Undo, it was marred by visible manipulators, and we call ourselves the giant of Africa. I advise Nigerians in the United States to prepare for Donald Trump's regime. It is going to be tough for illegal activity. Andrew from Ayobo there with a message. Reading more messages here. Sage and Fuad, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't see my beloved country having this level of transparency, just as the concluded election in Ghana. The level of corruption, greed, and power play among our elite will not allow for free and fair election. Owen from Lagos there with a message. Another one here reads, good morning, Sage and Fuad. I thank Fuad for telling those who supported the abracadabra we conduct here in the name of election. Our electoral acts are number one enemy. Sage, aside from Peter Obi, who bettered education in Anambra during his tenure, some of the governors were busy turning their governed into agberos. That's why what we have here is strong individuals instead of strong institution. Imagine Ghana is now teaching the so-called giant of Africa how to conduct a free and fair election. What a shame. James from Agbado Junction. All right, thank you very much. I'll read one message from, two messages from Facebook, and then I'll go back to the phone. I already read this on WhatsApp. Basil Chika says it is highly shameful and disrespectful that the likes of Jacob Mahmoud will be allowed to give insight into Ghana's election. Instead, he should have asked to bow down for a patriot, selfless and incorruptible Nigerian for the job, because the mess he caused Nigerians in 2023 election has made the country a mockery in the community of nations. They should watch, learn, and be careful, because the day is coming that... All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you for your insight. I'll read another one. Ifeoma Francis that says, Ghana's election is a yardstick for Nigeria. I was surprised to see INEC chairman in Ghana saying that Nigeria is learning from them. It's a pure lie. Ghana is far and above Nigeria in administration and governance. Nigeria should do away with corruption, and then we can start getting it right. All right, thank you very much. It's back to the phones. It's Mainland Focus on Mainland 98.3 FM. I'm Sage Babalola. We're looking at the education sector, and we're referencing the just concluded Ghana election and all the things that we can learn from the credibility of the polls, if we can say. 0913-6000-410 is the phone line. 2 minutes is all you have. Hello.
Hello, good morning. My name is John. I'm calling from Edo State.
All right, go ahead, sir.
I want to appreciate, good morning, Nigeria. I want to appreciate Mr. Fuad, all of you in Mainland FM, for all the work that you people are doing. Somebody said, what are we going to learn from Ghana? Who is Ghana? Ghana is a country. You can imagine election being conducted in an appropriate way. You go back to your village, go and vote in some parts. Don't vote for this, don't vote for this. You can see free and fair election. They should go and learn. Imagine our election, the person effort to come out of that point to see what is saying that Ghana is learning. What are they learning? They called him to come and witness, come and see how election is supposed to be conducted. Good morning, Nigeria, and God bless you. My sister, God bless.
All right, right. Thank you. Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Good morning, Maryland. My name is Meshach.
All right.
Nigeria.
Sir, do you mind the volume on your radio should be turned down or off?
Okay, I want you.
Yes, please. When you call, turn down the volume on your radio, all right? We're waiting for you, sir. Turn it off, sir, please.
Entirely.
All right. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm not surprised the way Ghana conducted the elections. It's a thing that Nigeria should be ashamed of, that we can't conduct ourselves. We can't organize ourselves as big as Nigeria is, with all the resources available at our disposal. It's a shame that we have to learn from small countries in Africa. Well, God help us anyway. I commend you people there, because at least you put a smile on our faces every day you run your commentary in your radio station.
Thank you. We
But
appreciate you.
I do hope that, yes, I do hope that God will one day answer our prayers, if He has already answered our prayers, and change the stone mind of our leaders. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Happy holidays. Hello.
Hello, Babalana.
Yes, good morning, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
A little bit noise here, but I manage it.
Okay.
See, I must commend the election taking place in Ghana, especially the loser that congratulate the winner. And that's why we are giving our former president respect in this moment. This is our former president Jonathan. When he has said defeat. And when we are talking of Ghana, Nigeria, no as smaller a country we can learn one or two things from them. And themselves, they can learn one or two from us. So in America, a very popular country, a very powerful country, they can't be 100% okay. But here in this country, some of us, we don't take defeat as a sport. When you lose an election, you go to tribunal. After tribunal, you go to appeal court, from appeal court to Supreme Court. After the party of Supreme Court, you still continue complaining. Why? Why not prepare for another election and prepare very well? So for me, like that today, you sit down, election, you complain, you go to court. So if you start election, you go to complain, you go to court. Why are we telling you? You must take defeat as a sport, congratulate the winner, and let's move on. Move on to you, my direct speech.
All right. Good morning. Thank you very much for calling. Hello.
Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Good morning.
This is Okangolina.
All right.
So if an election was not conducted transparently, in a situation where INEC, in the middle of the game, you say the IRM has spoiled, or there are some glitches, and when you see that the election is going towards a particular trend, you now say, oh, you shut down the IRF, and nobody will know what happened again. You come back and tell me that if we lose the election, we should not complain. What kind of a country is that? We are just trying to mess ourselves up in this country. So I believe that if you come here already and tell me that somebody who loses an election, when INEC didn't conduct the election well, didn't do well, I don't know what you want us to do. I know that you people are the ruling party, but please, INEC should like to conduct the election well, so that we will not complain again. If somebody goes to court because the election was rigged, what is wrong with that? My sister, you see this country, it is those of us who are even suffering that are even encouraging the politicians to continue to rig. It's unfair. If you don't do the election well, look at INEC. It's the same INEC is telling me that they use the template. Ghana use their template. How do you use their template? Use the template when you off the IRF, when you see that another person is winning. What kind of template is that? I think that man should go and sit down. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There's more phone calls here. Hello. Oh, please try to make it back if that was you. I apologize. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, Madam Sage, God bless you. Out of myself, what?
As well, thank you.
Okay. This Barrister Peter Ko, I'm calling from Maryland.
Welcome.
Yes. And Madam Sage, on the issues we are focusing on, first of all, on the issue of education in Nigeria, the standard of education in Nigeria has plummeted completely. You know, all we are producing now is just a bunch of half-baked illiterates. And the reason for it is because the government of the day, both at state and federal level, they have no regard for education, because most of the children and what of the politicians are schooling abroad. So they are not funding our local institutions at all. The UNESCO, United Nations standard says that every government must fund education with at least 15% of its annual budget. But in Nigeria, up to today, we are not even funding education
5%.
with up to 15%. We are only funding education up to 13%, up to 3%. That is why our educational institutions, especially the public institutions, are just shadows of themselves. So I will let the government fight corruption and move the money that is being embezzled, both at state and federal level, into education from politics. What? In fact, you can go into politics and earn your PhD in politics, in corruption.
Thank you.
In terms of...
Thank you so very much for calling. Thank you for calling. It's such a breath of fresh air, actually, to see somebody finally talk about the education sector. I feel like most people forgot that we had two stories up for conversation this morning. We're talking about the education sector, the fact that there's a lack of political will and there's a lack of funding in that sector that has led to quite a number of things going wrong within our education sector. A lot of employers have complained time and again that the graduates that we see from public tertiary institutions generally right now are not very qualified, and then there's a lot of age requirement. They expect that you be at least 25 years old with 2 years of experience, but then there's a 27-year-old that is still in 300 level because the university has gone on strike 5 times in one semester. And so these are the matters that should be at the fore, but then, well, to each his own. You get to choose the stories that you would like to analyze. But for those of you who are probably just listening and you are wondering what we're talking about this morning, we're talking about the ills in our education sector with emphasis on tertiary education. We had this morning, the report tells us that there's a lack of political will, there's poor funding, and there's just too many problems within the education sector. There's no infrastructure, there's no remuneration package or welfare package for both the teaching and the non-teaching staff. There's still backlog of salaries to be paid. There's still agreements that are as far back as 2009 that are yet to be fulfilled, amongst many other things. And these problems over time continue to impede the development of our education sector and, by extension, the development of our growing population. We're also talking about Ghana's election, of course, the seamless nature of the election, and all the many things that we could learn from the just concluded election in Ghana, right from the voting process, the very minimal violence, the loser of the election, so to speak, which is the incumbent vice president, already congratulating the president-elect, so to speak, and how there's just this joy that has filled the streets of Ghana, according to report. I'm actually watching the television and we could see Ghanaians excited, but then people are asking questions. Why is it that we're always going back to former leaders? Report tell us that the economy in Ghana is nothing to write home about. Job losses, the economy is in is in the gutters and what have you, and people are confident that maybe Mahama, a former president, would be able to rectify the mistakes that Nana Akufo had made during his tenure as president. Those are the two stories for analysis. I'll pause for a bit on phone calls and take Facebook messages whilst you gather your thoughts, for those of you who would like to call in. So back to Facebook, we have here additional Olanrewaju, who says, well done, Fuad and Sage. I appreciate your sagacity in news analysis. Let's learn to be politically stable in Nigeria, that is, not switching political parties at will. The acceptance of defeat in good faith, demonetization of our politics, attitudinal changes in our way of regarding election as a do or die affair. Remember how Jonathan unilaterally accepted defeat in 2015 and thereafter blamed left and right by his party members for his action? Yes, we do remember. Olumiwa on Facebook says, good morning, Mainland FM. I don't think Ghana's presidential candidate doled out thousands of dollars to their delegates during primaries. Electoral fraud in Nigeria starts with the delegate and their madness for monies during primaries to manipulate, and all the manipulation that occurs when technical glitches occur to arrive on election day. All that... all right, I'm going to do the best I can. All that lined up to collect 10,000 naira from politicians on election day are those that contributed to the failure of the electoral process and the economic hardship in this country today, as good leaders cannot come from bad citizens. It is my prayer that luck will smile on Nigerians someday. Hold on a second. And God will raise a leader that is truly committed to nation building and reform our bad electoral system. Muyiwa from Abuja sent a message there. Please help me with punctuation. I really, please help me out. I'm reading I'm reading verbatim. All right, I don't have time to proofread. So just punctuate properly so that I can read properly as well. Thank you so very much for your contribution. We have Sage, I greet you amazingly because I'm amazed to see you on the driver's seat on a Monday. I was saying last Tuesday that Mr. Fuad makes you laugh more than the rest of us when he's around or when he's talking. Sage, doesn't it sound laughable to you that INEC chairman Professor Mahmoud said that Ghana learnt a lot from Nigeria's election? Hope you are aware that Ghanaians who are here in Nigeria also voted. I was told that there was a polling unit in Agege where Ghanaians voted in Lagos. Truth is, Ghana is 10 times ahead of Nigeria. It is in their currency that they are conducting election and even their educational system. Sage, let's say the truth when we see it. For me, I choose to believe the entirety of the whole process. I hope our leaders are borrowing a lead from them. Last night, Barrister Curtis said they now have Ghana must go in Ghana. Good luck, Jonathan. Just might be another Trump or John Mahama in Nigeria. James Ogbonna from Oshodi. For that happened, Ghanaians... Hold on, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, one told us yesterday that we had ballot boxes, polling units, for Ghanaians who wanted to vote, and so.
Well, I know that there are conversations around allowing diaspora voting is working.
Okay, right.
Yes, there are conversations around allowing diaspora voting and what have you. We've not been able to make headway.
We've not been able to make a headway with that, But again, I've been listening to. A lot has been said about the Ghana electoral process, and I think whether we like it or not, it's not about the size. It's about how well you are able to organize yourself. Every country in the world. So it's not about how big you are. It's about how well you are able to organize yourself. I was having a conversation on my way to the office now, and we even talked about Benin Republic. People don't know. It's a very small country, but very organized. Someone was telling me that, look, in Benin Republic, even midnight, people don't break traffic rules. The traffic light is respected midnight in Benin Republic. And if you also look at their democracy, it's just that we don't talk about them because they're a francophone country. From Zoglo to Kereku, Boniayi, Talon, the transition has been smooth. The electoral process has been smooth. Even when they hold their presidential elections, their elections in Benin Republic, they don't close shop. People go about their normal things. Somebody wins, they declare election results, no violence. So, you see, we just have, and those are the things that make big countries respect all these countries. So if you see why we are so big as a nation, we have all the resources in the world, the largest economy in Africa, and yet nobody values our passport. Nobody, you go there, they check you as if you're a criminal. These little things matter. Those little things matter. That's how people are rated all over the world. For Trump that refused to accept results in America, it's still one of the biggest challenge to your democracy. The fact that, look, that culture of people conceding victory, congratulating the winner and moving on, was broken by Trump. It's not something that Americans are even happy about. Even his current presidency, this coming presidency, has got a lot of questions around it. But it is one thing Americans will have to live with and deal with. But it doesn't mean it has to be a standard for us here.
Thank you very much, Fuad. Reading more messages, we have, good morning, Sage and Fuad. Congratulations to Ghana. The presidential election conducted by Ghana was a perfect one compared to what we have here in Nigeria. They've proven to the world that they are a democratic nation. How I wish our INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakub can learn from the conduct of Ghana's election, from the voting to the collection and the announcement of the result, and apply it in the 2027 general election. Benjamin from Shogunle there with a message. I'm still on Facebook. We have, good morning, Sage and Fuad. I don't know why we are talking about this comparison between Ghana and Nigeria. Based on what parameters? Are we still pretending and lying to ourselves that our last presidential election was not completely flawed? If we continue on this self-deceit narrative, then we will never get it right again. As long as our votes are not yet counting, every other aspect of credible governance parameter will be unrealizable. Leo Ozoma from Isolo, Lagos. Onotoye Temitope Michael on Facebook says, hi Mainland FM, as long as we keep on ignoring the truth and pretending that our tertiary institution is developing and is on the right track, okay, I'll just assume you mean the danger for the country, as we would just continue to have it's a danger for the country. I'm trying to edit it here. It's a danger for the country, and we'll continue to have the worst of us ruling the best of us. In the first place, the funding, especially in the yearly budget, is nothing to write home about. It's just too small. Another is the level at which corruption keeps digging deep, where even the little amount budgeted for education is not judiciously spent for that purpose. If something urgent is not done in that sector, believe me, it will contribute more to the insecurity in the country. On Ghana's election, the earlier we realize that the reason Nigeria is called Giant of Africa is because of our population and nothing more, the better. The democracy and the manner at which elections are being conducted in Nigeria. I don't know what other countries can learn from our country. It's even amazing when people go about their business while they still have peaceful election. It was free, it was fair, it was credible. Kudos to Ghana. Our INEC chairman should learn good things and not continue to rub the name of Nigerians in the mud. God bless Nigeria. Temitope Onotoye from Ijakamo community. Thank you very much. Let's go back to the phones. Hello. Hello. All right, maybe call us back. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay. Hello. The volume on your radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Fuad.
Good morning, sir.
Ajibola calling from the caller.
You're welcome.
This is where our problem is. We can't sit down and tell the truth to ourselves, one. Then to accept, we have not accepted defeat. We are saying Ghana accept defeat. As Nigeria accept defeat that we have conducted the fraudulent election, we have not accepted that defeat. That our electoral process is a shambles. That is the first defeat we have to accept. That is when we now start working towards having the correct one. Go and copy their own system. Forget about the copy your own system. Say the truth. Go and copy the system. It's so clean. It's so clear for a small country like that. Go to the US. Go and copy the electoral system. Look at how they do things. That is when we can only make progress. There's nothing bad in copying as long as the copy is right. But our problem in Nigeria is just we still continue to argue. They have done the right thing. They have done the best thing. You did the nonsense that some people cannot go and vote in a polling unit successfully without being beaten by touts. And you call that one an election. You can't go to any place to go and collect. I was not able to collect voters card in Lagos State because why? They have their own personalism. I tried almost 4 times. And you call that one a kind of election. So this last election, my own vote was not part of it. And you want me to congratulate the winner. How can I do that? That is what we are saying. We should ask critical questions and we should be able to choose a leader that will lead this nation to the very land. That is why we are having this kind of nonsense in the education sector. The education sector is in a very, very bad shape. Why? Because they want to keep us half illiterate so that they will be able to perpetrate their evil. That's my own kind of explanation. They make the education sector intentionally this way because they want to make us half illiterate so that we'll not be able to ask critical questions. Look at the comments of some so-called elite on the radio. It's so absurd. because we have big students every time. This nation we should be serious.
All right. Thank you very much. We appreciate your insight into matters. I'm just throwing bullets everywhere. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
My name is Lɪධᴇ from Songo.
All right then.
Regarding the election in Ghana, I think one of the callers said we have bad losers in leadership and followers. And I want to align with that thought. In the last election, we saw here in Lagos where some people are preventing some people from voting. And we saw the same thing in the East, Imo State. I watched all this video where some people also preventing another person because they thought they're going to vote for a party they are not aligned with. And those same people at the end of the election will still come back and blame the system. We don't want to take responsibility. And I think Nigeria may play when is not benefiting directly from something. And every election, there are defenders and there are contenders. There are some people that conduct the first election anyway. They don't have the numerical strength to win anything. And those people will also claim that they are rigged out and everything. So everything is coming now. The parties are not talking about alignment now to solidify. What happened in the last election was that we can't see that people vote where people never have grants. And the same thing is every 2027. And after that now, they will still blame the ruling party that they have been rigged out. The thing there is that rigging is just across board. We now have the bigger riggers and the smaller riggers. And that is what. So, with regard to Ghana, congratulations to them. They've done well. Yes, we have something to learn from them. But as the people this country to also doing something, we should also have the intention of doing the right thing. And intentionally, from within ourselves, not pushing blame forth and back. We are also part of the system. In fact, we have said in the Republic, many people don't break traffic lights, even at night. As we are speaking now, some people have broken traffic lights this morning, some in the afternoon, some with bribe. And then at the same time, all of us will now come back again and push the blame. Nobody will be responsible for the country is right now.
Thank you very much for calling. I mean, so I'll just say the caller that said that bad citizens also are responsible for bad leaders. He mentioned some people didn't allow some people to vote. Those that prevented others from voting are citizens. The ad hoc staffs that aid in the manipulation process are also citizens. The ones that choose to collect rice to vote by their conscience are also citizens.
And even the leadership is a reflection of who we are as a people.
You cannot rig in a place where you are not popular. So you convinced
and we don't even import these leaders. They're also Nigerians. But one would expect that when people have the opportunity and get the mandate of the people, they now begin to do things to get the people to behave properly. You know, yes, people are naturally conditioned to want to misbehave. It's just what it is. But leadership now creates the structure. They create that pattern, that path for people to follow, whip them to line with what they also do. Because again, leadership by example helps. When people see that the leader is not breaking the rules, they naturally tend to also follow the pattern of the leader. So it's a holistic thing. So it's all on both sides, the leadership, the followership. But I think majorly we have a leadership problem.
Yeah, and we are enablers too. People will do bad things and we cannot call them out because they gave us rice last
So when you enable to, you're a bad follower. When you see bad thing, you don't want to talk.
Yeah. Yeah, I just mind my business.
You don't.
Yeah, also an enabler. Let's take this last phone call so we round off the messages. Hello.
Sage, good morning.
Morning to you, sir.
What?
Good morning, Pastor Ambrose.
To John Meta. God
will not forget all of us.
Compliment of the season.
Same to you, sir.
Yeah, we thank God for another day.
Yes.
They say there are pretenders, there are contenders, Abi. But Nigerians are only asking for free, fair, and credible election. So when you are a contender, does that mean that you should rig an election? You see, when people talk, especially this last election, Peter Obi, he does not have stock. They finished that man, and at the end of the day, during the election, we saw him got 6 points, and they are still telling us that he's a pretender. Under free, fair, and credible election, I mean, So what when you say pretenders, content, I don't understand. Okay, allow free, fair, and credible election. We are talking of Ghana now, and we are seeing what happened in Ghana, where a former president came back to power, and it was free, fair, and credible. And we are saying Mahmoud is congratulating him. When we have seen what happened in Edo, when we have seen what happened in Ondo, and somebody saying pretenders, excuse me, if they want to lose election in Edo and Ondo, let them lose election in a free, fair, and credible manner. If I see a free, fair election, I will know. Nobody will tell me. And whoever wins will be congratulated. We should stop all of this. If it was their candidate that won the 2023 election that lost, would they be talking like this? The answer is a big no. What?
Thank you.
You are doing well. God bless you.
Thank you very much for calling. Well, that's all the calls we can take for this morning. Let's just finish things off with messages. I'll be reading from WhatsApp first. We have good morning, Sage and Fuad. I thank Fuad for telling those who supported the abracadabra we conducted in the name of election. Our electoral act is our number one enemy. I already read this. James from Agbado, thank you very much. I read this earlier. I have here, hello mainland FM, as long as we keep on ignoring the truth and pretending that our tertiary institutions are developing and is on the right track. Also, I already read this on Facebook. That's why I say that we should not send the same messages across different platforms so we don't prevent other people from sending messages as well. We have good morning on the election in Ghana. People should know that there's no election in the world that is 100% perfect. We should rather encourage our electoral bodies to improve and make the election a good one. Joseph in Lagos, all right, we're encouraging them. INEC, please, we're encouraging you to do better. Good morning, mainland FM. Oluwaseun from Festac says Ghana is the new giant of Africa. Nigerians should learn integrity, transparency, credibility, openness, fairness, and accountability in the election process, and also from the leadership in Ghana. Nigeria has lost everything to corruption and lawlessness. It's very shameful indeed for someone to come on air and say who is Ghana. Let me clear him. Ghanaians are not just supporting criminals at all because of party loyalty and tribal sentiment. They vote their conscience. All right, thank you very much.
But our jollof rice is still sweeter than their jollof rice. At least that one they can't take away from us.
But jollof rice have cost now. Even jollof rice we do not see. It's sweet, but we don't have.
But it's still sweeter than Ghanaian jollof rice. That one I know.
Have we even seen jollof rice to eat now? Like
no jollof rice again.
There's no jollof rice. They are now selling per scoop.
Or they've downgraded it to concoction.
One scoop 300. How many scoops do you want to buy? No, I think concoction.
Big girl now.
Hey, let's not pass the wrong message to my helpers. I'm not a big girl. It's a criminal offense for anyone to say the 2023 election was rigged, even after the losers went to court from the tribunal all the way to the Supreme Court and couldn't prove that they won the election. Rather, they were asking the court to disqualify the president, and Nigeria's opposition should learn from Ghana when the loser congratulates the winner. FM from Ogun State. Thank you very much, FM, for your message. Good morning, mainland FM. My name is Elda Agbata from Alimosho. Mr. Yakubu Mahmoud should come back to Nigeria and stop wasting our money in Ghana because he has nothing to offer them. He's the one that even put us in this mess. All right. Thank you.
Yakub, that job,
I'm Principal from Moe. How can we rewatch your program? I suggest you go on YouTube. We need electoral reform. Oh, it's available on Facebook.
On Facebook.
You can watch it. If you're not able to listen right now, it will be uploaded right after the program, so you can go and watch. You can even comment and interact with other people on the platform even after the program is over. So we're streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. All right. Let me see if I can squeeze in one more message. Good morning, mainland FM. Oluwaseun. These messages that are just replicated across platforms. Well, thank you very much for that. Thank you very much.
You for having me.
We appreciate you. We'll be back at 10 for Global View. Interesting conversations ahead on Global View. All the people, I mean, I'm even happy. The person I want to marry, that ran away. If you come back now, come and marry. So
they are deported of it.
Yeah, deported of it. So you come back,
come and marry. He will not come back.
He'll come back, come and marry.
What kind of prayer is that? So you're happy that he wants to deport?
I'm not happy. I'm just saying if it happens, it works in my favor.
I hope you are listening to her.
Well, that's what we have for you. We'll be back at 10 for Global View. Stick around. We'll have stories around international event. I'm Sage Babalola. The Morning Express continues.